Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the finals. We'll introduce the top 6 bowlers. Sixth place in the alternate for the tournament is Chris James. He represents James Floors and Interiors. In 5th place is Jim Holley. He represents Kenton Surplus. In 4th position is Mike Szymanski, who represents J&B Szymanski. In 3rd place is Gene Bourne. He represents Mount Victory Meats. In 2nd place is Mike Heilman. He represents Oxychem Durez. And the current leader is Charles Envoy. He represents Aiden Academy and DPI Incorporated Embroidery and Silk Screening. Okay, the first 2 bowlers, which are Jim and Mike, will have a couple shadow balls and then make a decision.
Okay, welcome to Hillcrest Lanes for the 13th annual Men's Intermediate Finals. Our top 5 today features Charles Omwick in 1st place, Mike Heilman in 2nd, Gene Bourne in 3rd, defending champion Mike Szymanski in 4th, and Jim Holley is our 5th place qualifier. Chris James will be the alternate. These 2 bowlers get 2 frames on each lane, and then defending champion Mike Szymanski will have lane choice. Mike's sponsor is J&B Szymanski. And let's see about Jim Holley here. Who do we got? Kenton Surplus. Jim Holley's record high game is 276. He also has a lifetime series average of 704. These bowlers have bowled 24 games of qualifying to qualify for this field of the top 5. Currently, Jim Holley has a high game of the tournament with a 269, and Brian Zachary has a high series of the tournament with a 942.
Who's start? Mike's going to start. Good luck, guys.
And Mike has selected to go first.
Mike has a tournament average just over the last 2 weekends of 198.5. He started the tournament with a 181 average. His high game for the tournament was 252. His low game was 153. His average for lanes 5 and 6 was 193. He beat Jim Holley in match play 198 to 182 last weekend.
Mike starts the tournament with a strike. Now Jim Holley on lane 6.
Jim Holley started the tournament with a 183 average. His 24-game average for the tournament was 197.
And he counters with a strike.
Jim Holley did have the high game for the tournament at 269. His average on lanes 5 and 6 was 170.
That ball was in the pocket, and he left an 8-10 split. Kind of a bad break for Jim there.
And he almost covers that
Nearly
split.
picks off the 10-10.
So Mike Zemansky grabs the early lead here as Jim Holley opens.
And starts out with a double.
Mike is last year's defending champion.
He came into this tournament with a 181 average.
Going for 3 in a row, and he leaves the 10-10. And he grabs the early 21-10 lead if he covers the spare. He covers it.
Now Jim Holley to go back to work. And he throws a Brooklyn strike.
Sounded like his thumb stuck a little bit to that ball as it popped out of there. Jim can strike here. He'll only be down 11 pins.
And another strike for Jim.
Came in light and he got the 7 pin to trip out.
That's a good way to come back after an open frame. And Mike Szymanski leaves a 4-7. Spare by Mike Szymanski.
Mike started the tournament as a defending champion, so he automatically qualifies first at the start of the tournament. He went from, after the first round, he was in 7th place. He went to 8th place, then went up to 6th, then up to 5th, then dropped back down to 6th. And then last night, he jumped up to 4th place to qualify for today's finals.
And another solid 10 pin by Mike. That's two 10 pins he's left on lane 5.
Mike throws a pretty much down and in ball. I think he uses one of the Storm bowling balls.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Mike covers the 10 pin. That gives him 3 spares in a row after he started off with a double. Here's Jim Holley on lane 8, looking to build on his double that he was just good shot, but another solid 10 pin. Picks us up to only be down 9 pins. And he covers it. So Jim Holley will bowl on lane 5, down by 9.
And we have a close match going here in the first match of the day.
Another good shot, but
Ball
another
in
10
the
pin.
pocket and another 10 pin. You just kind of got to shake your head on those shots.
Looks like he has it, and he does. Jim Holley makes good on back-to-back 10 pins. Mike Zemansky will have a 10 pin lead going into the 6th frame. Here on lane 6. Seemed like the players were struggling on lane 6 early in their shadow balls.
And he comes up high and leaves 3-6.
Mike covers this pair, he'll be up 8 pins. And he does. 4 straight spares for Mike Zemansky.
And Mike threw that one pretty high, but he got strike out of it.
Mike was shaking his head as he come off the lane. All he can do is come back and throw another good shot.
And Jim Holley has a 6 pin to shoot at.
I think that's a 3.
Is that the 3 pin?
3 straight 9 counts for Jim Holley. Because that was the first ball he's thrown. Really hasn't hit the pocket.
As he covers the 3 pin.
This match gone by pretty quick here, as Jim's down by 9 pins. There, he got one to go. Mike Zemansky working on a strike in the 7th. Solid 7-pin for Mike Zemansky.
That ball looked like it was right in there.
He'll hook it right across the alley at this.
And he's gonna miss it.
Looked like that one got away from him. And Jim Holley will grab a 7-pin lead. Or excuse me, a 3-pin lead.
Very crucial time in the game for an open, right there.
Mike has a 152 here in the 8th, a possible 212 game if he strikes out.
And he goes a strike.
Jim would want nothing more than a strike here. But he leaves the 6-10. We have a very, very close match here, heading into the 10th frame.
He picks this up, he'll have a 3-pin advantage. And
He got it. Jim has to double here just about. If Jim strikes out, he'll have a 205.
There's one strike.
Mike Zemansky can still shoot 212. A strike here would force Mike Zemansky to double.
And he leaves the 6-10 again. Looks like Mike will have to mark in the 10th frame to win this game.
195 for Jim Holley. Mike Zemansky has to throw a strike on the first ball. And he leaves the 9-pin. Looked like a good shot.
He may have been just a little high on that.
So Mike with a possible 192 game.
Our next match will feature Jim Holley versus Gene Bourne.
And he makes good on his last ball. We're in 192.
Good match, gentlemen.
Very close match. Jim Holley wins it 195 to 192.
Back on, okay. Jim Holley is the winner. Now going over and taking a couple shadow balls to be Gene Bourne. Mount Victory Meats is his sponsor. The match total was 195 to 192. Good game, gentlemen.
This next match will have Gene Bourne taking on Jim Holley. Gene started the tournament with a 184 average. His 24 game average for the tournament was 199. He had 11 200 games, a high game of 268. His low game was 154. His average on lanes 5 and 6, better than any of the top 5 at 218. And he beat Jim Holley 211 to 193 in match play.
He has a lifetime high game of 275 and a lifetime high series of 703. Gene's sponsor is Mount Victory Meats. Gene will finish his shadow balls and then we'll have lane choice.
Gene has elected for Jim to start.
Gene
Good
has
luck,
elected
Jim.
to let Jim start.
That is Mike Robinson resetting the computers for us.
And we're ready to go.
A little help from Leanne Maria there. And Mike Heilman down on lane 12, starting his practice frames. Jim Holley starts it out with a 10 pin. Jim's been bowling now for 37 years. Gene's been bowling for 23. So I don't think experience is going to have any factor in this match.
It wouldn't seem that way. Gene's got a 3, 6, 7, 10 split.
This is a makeable split if you can get it inside the 3, well, outside the 3 pin and mount and slide it over into the 7.
And he had a good try at it, but he left the 7 pin.
That gives Jim Holley the early lead here. Gene throws the ball pretty much right down the first arrow and hooks it down into the pocket. Just like that.
And he throws a strike.
Jim Holley working on a spare in the first frame.
And Jim throws a strike.
So Jim Holley has an 11-pin lead going into the third frame. Seems like Jim's found a good line out there. He gets the light on the go.
This ball comes in light and he carries it for a strike.
So a double for Jim Holley. Gene's high game for the tournament was 268 with a high series of 899.
And he's got a 4-pin to shoot at.
The 899 is for a 4-game series. Jim Holley's high 4-game series was 829.
And Gene covers his spare. Strike.
Gene's hit lane 5 both times for strikes, but he has yet to strike on lane 6. Here's Jim Holley working on a double. Trying to increase the lead to 21. And another rocking 10-pin for Jim Holley. That also gives him a 29-pin lead.
And he covers the 10-pin. Through 3 frames, Jim holds a 20 pin advantage over Gene.
Jim working on his spare in the 4th frame.
And another ball in the pocket and another 10 pin. Jim looks like he may be getting a little bit discouraged.
When you leave a lot of 10 pins, that you're hitting the pocket so well. It's easy to lose your cool sometimes. But when you're in the finals like this, you got to make good on these spares, as Jim's been doing. His only open so far in a game and a half has been a solid 8-10 split. He left in the 2nd frame of the 1st game.
That's some good spare shooting.
Working on a strike.
And he leaves the 6-10.
Sounded like Gene was coming over the thumb hole on that ball. Gene started the tournament in 4th place. He went to 18th. To 12th and clear up the 2nd. Then he was 3rd for the last 3 rounds to qualify for today's finals.
And Jim now holds a 19 pin advantage.
Gene's got to get some strikes together. Jim is a very good spare shooter.
And gets a strike on 5.
Gene's hit lane 5 all 3 times he's bowled on it so far. Yet to strike on lane 6. That will give him a 19 pin lead. Going into the 7th frame. Jim wearing a wrist support. After bowling 24 games, your wrist can get kind of weak out there.
Double.
Looks as though the light hits are carrying today. I think most players are going to try to get the light hits. Seems like whenever they pack it in the pocket, they're leaving the 10 pin. Here's Gene Bourne working on a strike.
Very much needed strike here.
He's down 19 pins.
Solid 8 pin.
That was right in the pocket.
Misses it.
It's not like Gene to miss an easy spare like that. Gina's going to have to get some strikes together now.
Another strike on 5.
And Holley comes up. Just trying to increase the lead some more. As he's working on a double on lane 6.
And a strike. Jim has been pretty much in the pocket the last 2 games.
He's got a 30-pin lead right now, and it's increasing with every ball. Working on 3 in a row. And he got it to go.
Jim has a possible 258 working.
Yep. Gene has no choice but to strike out here in the 9th and 10th. And that'll do it for this match, folks.
That is 4-7-10 split. Gene looks like he's going for it. He missed. Our next match will feature Jim Holley versus Mike Heilman.
May Steyer, telephone. May Steyer.
Gina struck all 5 times on lane 5. He just couldn't get lane 6 down, and that cost him the match today. He's still up with a 173 game.
Mike Heilman's sponsor is OxyChem Perez.
Gene ends up with a 163, but that will not be nearly enough, as Jim Holley is coming up here in the 6th, or on lane 6.
A possible 258.
Comes in a little high.
And he leaves a 610.
If he picks this up, he'll be in the 230 range. Very good game here in the finals.
Jim Holley with a possible 236 with a strike. Holley. This next match could be a good one. It will feature Mike Heilman versus Jim Holley. Mike Heilman is the only bowler in the field that has 2 300 games. Mike has a career high series of 715. A very aggressive bowler.
Mike had a starting average of the tournament of 182. He ended the tournament with a 201. The only player over 200 for the tournament. He had 12 200 games. His high game was 242, a low game of 145. He has bowled for 30 years. His average on lanes 5 and 6 for the tournament of 192. And Jim Holley beat Mike Heilman 191 to 189 in match play.
So we could be in for a close match here.
Seemed like Jim Holley found the line as he bowled a 236, almost every ball right in the pocket.
Mike looks like he's got lane 5 down. Going to throw another ball on 6. And then he will have to make lane choice.
Mike very capable of throwing the big game in these finals. As he is the only player out of the top 24 with a 300, and he has 2 of those.
Good luck, gentlemen.
His most recent 300 was the first week in league play of last year, first game. Jim Holley right now averaging 215 for the first 2 matches.
Looks like Mike has elected Jim to bowl first.
Jim will start on lane 5. He only has 1 open on the day, and that was a split he missed way back in the first game, second frame. The 8-10 split, nearly impossible to pick up anyway. And
10 pin on number 5.
if Jim would have had them 10 pins carry those first 2 games, he could have had 2 very, very big games.
covers the 10 pin.
Mike Heilman on lane 6 throws a very aggressive style bowler. Really just wings it out there. Got the first arrow.
Here goes Brooklyn and gets a strike.
Throws the ball very, very hard. Throw the ball that hard, you get a lot of pin action, a lot of carry. But at the same time, it's a hard ball to throw because you leave a lot of corner pins.
And Mike leaves 4 pin.
Looked like Mike really wanted that one to carry. Start off with a double right off the bat. That ball just carried a little high on him. All these players pretty good spare shooters.
And he covers the 4 pin.
Jim Holley working on a spare in the first frame. Comes up on lane 6.
And he's got the 3-6 to shoot at.
I feel like Jim let that one get away from him a little bit. Jim a very good spare shooter.
Chops it. He chops the 3 pin. And that is only his second open of the day.
The winner of this match will take on Chuck Omweg, who is starting to throw his practice balls down on lane 12.
As the 7 pin stands up.
Jim's been in the pocket all of about 2 balls. The last one he threw on lane 5, or on lane 6.
And he covers the 7 pin.
And
Now Mike Heilman on lane 6.
still a very, very close match here. Jim can't get too discouraged this early in the match.
He comes in a little high and carries the strike. His first ball on lane 6 went Brooklyn. He went a little high on that one. Looks like Mike's trying to make an adjustment on 6. As he throws it in the pocket on lane 5.
Mike started the tournament in 11th position. For the first 5 rounds, he was first.
As Jim throws the strike.
Up until last night, Chuck Omweg went around him in next to the last game. And Mike dropped down to second. top 5 bowlers were very close in total pins. Actually, the top 6 were very close. As there was only 20 pins, that separated 5th from 6th.
Jim Holley has a 610 to shoot at again.
Jim knows he's going to have to strike. Because if Mike doubles here, it's practically just about over if Mike can double here. But Jim has been around the pocket all day. Oh no.
Chops the 10 pin off. Bad break for Jim there.
Here's Mike working on a double. Here on lane 6.
They could take command of this game in the 5th frame.
Oh no.
He throws it.
The 4-7-6
split. Mike seems like he's trying to adjust on 6, but just can't quite find the line.
Well, that'll cut the lead down to 20 pins now. Jim Holley back into this match. Very little room for error in these kinds of matches.
And the 9 pin.
Mike seems to be going high on just about every ball so far. Looks like he's going to have to make an adjustment here. Move left a little bit. Maybe move up on the approach a little bit. Mike only bowling on one league this year, and that's on Thursday nights.
As Jim comes in high and he leaves a 6 pin.
And Jim's only bowling in one league this year, and that's the Tuesday Night City League.
Jim desperately needs this spare. Stay in the match. He covers.
So we have a 20 pin difference so far. Mike Heilman is up on Jim Holley. Both players seem to be struggling a little bit to find the pocket here.
That ball is going to Brooklyn. And he has these
9.
3-6-9. Very difficult spare.
Mike's high game for the tournament was 242. His highest series for the tournament was 880.
And Jim chopped that spare.
He knows he needed that one, folks.
He's in some deep trouble.
I think Jim might have been trying a little too hard to throw a strike on the last two balls.
And Mike has a 4-pin to shoot at. Mike has not really taken command of this game quite yet.
Mike could build a 33-pin lead here if he strikes. But both players are struggling. If it's still anybody's match right now.
A solid 10-pin.
It's a 32-pin lead for Mike Highland. Here in our semi-final match.
Mike will probably throw a lot of speed on this.
Very hard and very straight, right at it. That ball was clocked at 20 miles an hour.
I'll go get your coffee.
And Jim has a 6-10.
Jim just unable to find the pocket right now. Looks like he might be trying just a little too hard to fit that ball between the 1 and 3.
He covers another spare. He's got a lot of ground to work with.
I don't know.
Jim can still end up with a 181. Mike, on the other hand, can still end up with 213.
There's a strike for Jim.
And Mike does need to mark. It's very important now.
There's a much needed strike for Jim in a ninth frame there. And Mike counters with a strike. That should pretty much do it for this match.
Mike has to mark here in the 10th frame to shut out Jim Holley.
Is that me?
And a double. Looks like Mike has made the adjustment.
Yep. Mike Heilman will be your winner here in the semifinal match. Unless he would happen to double gutter or something here, which is highly unlikely. Just keeping it on the lane.
And he does. He has his 3-6 to shoot at.
If he picks this up, we'll have a 2-0-1 game. Jim Holley missed 3 spares. Just couldn't get it together this third game.
And Mike finishes with a 201. Jim Holley to finish out his game. The best he can get is a 181. And he gets a strike. Our championship match will feature Charles Onweg versus Jim Holley. As Jim leaves 1-2-10. That will leave him with a 168 final.
Okay, Mike compliments just stay together. Mike compliments the winner 201 to 168. Now coming up is Charlie Onweg. His sponsors Ada Dance Academy and DPI Incorporated Embroidery and Silk Screening.
Charles is sponsored by Ada Dance Academy.
Decision.
He will throw 2 shadow balls on each lane, and he will have lane choice.
Chuck started the tournament in 24th position. He worked his way clear up to first. Started the tournament with a 176 average. His 24 game average was 197. His high game was 256, which he rolled last night. His low game was 139, which he rolled last night. He bowls in 2 leagues, the Wednesday night Independent League and the Friday night Wildcat League. His average on lanes 5 and 6 is 184. And him and Mike Heilman bowled 2 games against each other last night. Mike winning the first one and Chuck winning the second one in position round.
Chuck looks like he may be a little bit nervous as being the first place qualifier. A couple frames on his belt and he'll be fine.
Some of our past champions in this tournament. This tournament started in 1985. Ray Berry won the first one. Rick Brown, Kenny Barker, Jim Wheeler, Bob Legg won it in 89 and 90. Dennis Harris won it in 1991. My buddy here, Keith Frater, won it in 1992. Travis Rao won it in 1993. Brian Zachariah, who had the high series for the tournament, won it in 1994. Buddy Beer won it in 1995. And Mike Zemansky, who finished 4th today, 4th or 5th, in 5th place today,
is our defending champion.
As I said, Chuck started the tournament in 24th position. He went to 6th after the first round and second round. Went up to 3rd. Then was in 2nd. Then he was in 2nd for the next and the last round. Then last night he went around Mike Heilman to be in 1st place today for the championship match.
And Chuck has chose Mike to start
Mike
first.
Start Mike will be starting. Good luck, gentlemen.
And let's get this championship match started. And Mike starts out with a 6-7 split. Mike will throw this ball hard, straight.
He'll try to knock the 6 pin over to the 7. He'll try to hit on the right side of the 6. Either that or try to bounce it out from behind. And he'll cover 1.
I think Mike just went for pin count there.
Seemed like he didn't throw the ball as hard as he usually does at those splits like he does in league play. We know when he leaves the 7-10 split, he really wings her down there.
Right?
He went a little high. I'm sure he's thankful for that pinfall.
And I'm sure his knees are ringing like bells.
I bowled with Chuck on our Wednesday night team, and before this tournament started, he qualified 32nd. He was just hoping that 8 people could drop out so he could bowl, and eventually 8 people dropped out, and he qualified 24th.
Another strike for Chuck.
He's been bowling very well this year. I think he's got a 193 average on Wednesday nights.
Mike comes in and he's got the 6 pin to shoot at.
And Mike's been in the TV format, I think, a few times now. I think he will finish 2nd last year, I believe.
I believe so.
And Chuck's never been in the TV finals, and I'm sure he is very, very nervous right now.
A spare for Mike Holley.
Mike's usually pretty good about keeping his cool under pressure, seems like. Got a lot of big games out here at Hillcrest Lanes. A couple 300s. I think he's had a few 299 games out here. Solid 9 pin.
Mike threw that ball in the pocket like a rocket.
I think you could hear that ball hit the pocket clearing out the other end of the bowling alley.
Yeah.
Mike's got to make good on these spares today. So 2 spares in a row for Mike Heilman, but here comes Chuck Omweg working on a double right off the bat. Chuck throwing a 16-pound zone. Mike Heilman throwing the zone outrage. Lost that one out there. Lose the 3, 6, 9. Looks like he might be gripping the ball a little tight. And then when you get nervous out there, you seem to grip the ball a little harder. So it's a pretty good spare shooter. He'll probably try to hook this into the 3-6 and try to kick out the 9-pin. Ball just deflected off to the right.
At this point, Chuck just needs to take a deep breath. It just seems like he's a little bit shaky.
Chuck taking his time on the approach. Chuck a pretty tall guy, he's about 6'4".
Leave 7-pin.
Now when Chuck leaves these 7-pins, he usually throws it down about the first arrow. Fairly slow unless the ball hooked to the 7. Let's see what he does here. That's what he does. And he got it. So Chuck still maintains a 7-pin lead. Mike checking out the score.
And he's got the 3-10 split, lane 6. And he covered. Nice spare by Mike Heilman.
Mike down 9 pins now. Both players will be working on spares here in the 5th frame. Anybody's ball game right now.
And a strike on lane 5. Charlie needs to throw one in the pocket right here.
He got it. To maintain the 9-pin lead.
That ball looked a little high.
Looked like that head pin just pushed the 4-pin right down as it came off the wall. And he doubles.
And another nice shot by Chuck. He is being very aggressive.
Chuck's really improved his game over the last couple of years.
And Mike, with another problem on his hand, he has a 6-7 split. I would imagine he's going to go for this one.
He'll probably crank up the speed here. Try to hit it on the right side of the 6-pin, or just try to. He's just going to try to hit the 6-pin as hard as he can. That's what he does. And he almost gets it.
Very crucial point in the game for an open there with Charlie on strikes.
If Chuck gets up here and strikes in the 7th frame, he'll be up 30 pins. But Mike, very capable of putting together strings of himself.
And a strike.
I have noticed today that the light strikes are carrying a lot better than the pocket hits are.
That's correct.
Chuck got that one again.
Another strike in the 7th frame for Chuck Almond. He's got a commanding lead.
He's up 20 pins now, but if he strikes here, he'll be up 31 pins. Chuck throws more like a full roller than a hook ball. Really comes around the side of it. Smashes that one into the pocket.
Another one in the pocket.
Chuck, a possible 255. So he's got 4 in a row. Mike Heilman, a possible 214. Both players using the new resin balls. The Zone seems to be more of the most popular resin ball out on the market right now.
About all Mike can do right now is just throw strikes.
Chuck just has to keep marking at this point, as he's got the 9th and the 10th frame to fill up here. Chuck working on 4 in a row. Got that one out.
Too far out, and he's got the 1-2 to shoot at. A little bit of nerves there, I think.
I think he wanted to keep it on the right side so much he didn't want to hit up to the head pin, maybe leave a split. A little extra speed on that ball. This conversion here will give him a 183 in the 8th frame. Pretty easy spare.
Pretty easily covered.
If he strikes out, he'll have a 233.
And he can lock it out.
He has to double to shut out Mike Heilman. There's one.
One strike.
One more strike, and that'll be all she wrote. Chuck knows he needs it. Chuck, the best
Mike can get is a
233.
The best Mike can get is a 214.
Chuck, all he has to do is keep this ball on the lane. And he does it. There's your champion, folks. He wins it.
Charles Almond, the 1997 men's intermediate champion, folks.
looks good. And the 10-pin stands, but
Truck losing with a 2:32 game.
Give a list of sponsors.
As Mike is finishing his game out here, our moral support sponsors for the tournament are Golden Image Printing, Dick Catterjohn, Kenton Times, and Kitty Weber. First place, $300, the jacket by Bar Concessions, and trophy by McGrath Barbershop. We will try to get a word or two with Charles Onway.
252 to 190, I believe. Alrighty. We'd like to thank everyone who has participated, all the sponsors, all the sports. Losing it here, right there. Moral support sponsors. Yeah, I'm breaking up. And office help, everyone, we would like to thank you, including the workers here at Kenton. I'm all twisted. I think that's the problem. Dwayne. Okay, we'll start with 24th edition. That was Gordon Stinson, and he represents Stinson Acres.
Charles Onway, how does it feel to win the 1997 men's intermediate?
Bob Legg, he represents Hillcrest Lanes.
Lucky.
Was you at all nervous
And 22nd
for
position
starting
was
out?
Larry Ludwig,
I
he
was very
represents
nervous.
Pork Chop
Very,
Farms.
very nervous. Still shaking.
Having to
I'd like
take
to
Chris
congratulate you on your
Baxter's place in
championship and
21st
hope you have
position
many
was
more
Bud
to come.
Smith, he
I hope so,
represents
too.
Imperial Bondware. And 20th position was Dan Wells, he represents Price Funeral Home. And
Chuck still
19th
seems a little
position was
shaken
Doug
up.
Koch, he represents Eastern
I
Chicago
don't think he
Pizza Company
realizes
and
yet what
Industries.
that he's won yet.
And 18th position was Clarence Canode, he represents Hillcrest Bartenders. And 17th position was Leonard Lay, he represents the Hardin County Horseshoe Club. In 16th position was Jeff Morrison, he represents Tice Construction. And 15th position was Steve McCullough, he represents Nelson's Insurance. And 14th position was Harry Ellis Jr., he represents Son of Ann Betts post 1994. In 13th position was Jim Botchland, he represented Michael's Remodeling. Sorry. In 12th position was Tony Barker, he represented B&B Body Shop. In 11th position, standing down near the trophy case, is Brian McGrath, he represents McGrath Barbershop. In 10th position was Brian Ard, he represents Kenton Iron Products. In 9th position was Brian Zachariah, he represented Mr. Cahill's Automotive. I'm waiting. In 8th position was Rick Smith, he represented Palmbach Feeds. In 7th position was Tom Risch, and he represented Risch Masonry. And the alternate for the tournament was Chris James, and he represented James Floors and Interior. Finishing 5th this year was Mike Szymanski. He's represented by J&B Szymanski. In fourth position is Gene Bourne. He represented Mount Victory Meats. In third position was Jim Holley. He represented Kenton Surplus. In second position was Mike Heilman. He represented Oxycamber Red. And the winner of the tournament for 1997 was Charlie Amway, and he represented Ada Dance Academy and DCI Incorporated. For 12th position through 8th position, they each received $45 in prize money. The only one here, I believe, is the two Brians, Brian McGrath and Brian Zachariah. They both get $45 each.
That's mine. Hey, that's mine.
His wife's in the crowd, can you tell? Okay, in 7th position was Tom Risch, and he received $55. In 6th position, Chris James will receive $65. Wait a minute. I'm trying to read sideways. This isn't working. In 5th position was Mike Szymanski. He receives $75. In 4th position, Gene Bourne receives $85. In 3rd position, Jim Holley receives $100. In 2nd position, Mike Heilman receives $175. And in 1st position, Charlie Amway receives $300. First through 6th all received shirts. First and second received jackets and trophies. Second place trophy is courtesy of Hillcrest Lanes and goes to Mike Heilman. First place trophy is courtesy of McGrath Barbershop and goes to George Closette Memorial is first place trophy. Okay, it's going to be presented by Sally Cozette. The jacket for first place will be courtesy of Barb's Concessions. Okay, a couple of things here. High actual game, Jim Holley with a 269. He receives $50 courtesy of the Kenton Bowling Association. High actual series was Brian Zachariah with a 942. He also receives $50 courtesy of Kenton Bowling Association. In last place, Gordon Stinson receives, now who's this presented by? Classic Trophy is presenting a trophy for him. So it's converted. He picked up 7 of 22, and that will be presented by Faye Legg. She's a hurrying. She's a hurrying. Not yet. And that goes to Brian McGrath. He converted 7 of 22. The moral support sponsors for the tournament are Golden Image Printing, Jim Horde, Kenton Times, Kitty Weber, and Dick Catterjohn Richards doing the taping. Pins over average with 521 pins is Charlie Amway, and that trophy is presented by McGrath Barbershop. All right, they did that right. Okay, and Brian would like to announce his retirement as manager. He said thank you very much for everything that has happened in the tournament and been here for him. Low game, low series? Yeah, easy. Okay, low game of the tournament, 130. Clarence Canode. Low series of the tournament, 574. Also goes to Clarence Canode. Congratulations, Clarence. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, sponsors. Thank you, everyone.
And that'll do it from Hillcrest Lane this afternoon. Thank you for joining us. See you next year.